All right, so Rediscover Me Challenge kicks off today, and I am feeling like it's the first day of school and I'm late for class. So, yeah, I'm running a little behind and I'm surprisingly nervous too, just like the first day of school. I've never done anything like this before. I'm going to show up for 28 days straight and do lives with you and talk through each day of the Rediscover Me Challenge. We've had thousands of women sign up. That's probably why I'm nervous. So anyway, if you're new or if you just signed up for the challenge or whatever, Rediscover Me is a 28-day life coaching challenge, and it's completely free. So if you want to sign up and haven't yet, you can do that at getyourprettyon.com/newyou. But it is a total departure from the style related stuff that I do, which is a little bit weird, right? I create capsule wardrobes every season, and most of our stuff is related to style and beauty, and this is just kind of like out of left field a little bit. So I feel like I need to give you a little bit of background on that before we start to dive in. So I've shared with the community on many occasions that the reason I started Get Your Pretty On was because I was stuck in this yoga pants rut a few years ago whenever I started working from home. And the rut was about more than just not getting dressed in real clothes every day. It was about so many other things. It was about making a tough transition, even though it was a good transition to being able to work from home. But, just losing the accountability of having a schedule and getting up in the morning and getting dressed and going into an office and all those things that were built in for me. So I had to find my way out of that. And one of the easiest things for me to do at the time was to get dressed in real clothes every day. So that's really one of the steps that I was able to take. But I also, around that time, got my life coaching certification and my business coaching certification. And I was doing a lot of one-on-one coaching and helping other women who were going through a similar situation to what I was going through. And I felt like at that point, I wasn't leaps and bounds ahead of them, but I was maybe like one step ahead in the process. So I think that's one of the most important things I learned during that time, is that you don't have to be 5 steps ahead to help people. You can just be one step ahead. And sometimes when you're looking for mentors or people to coach you or guide you, it's better to go with the person that's just one step ahead, because they can remember what it feels like to be exactly where you are. So anyway, I'm off on a tangent. All of that to say that I loved one-on-one coaching. I got a lot of personal fulfillment out of it, just working with people and seeing the changes that they were implementing and how they were growing in leaps and bounds. And when I started Get Your Pretty On, I didn't have the bandwidth anymore to do that. I felt like I had a bigger platform and I could impact more women's lives through Get Your Pretty On than I could through one-on-one life coaching. So I sort of gave that up, but it stayed in my heart. And I thought about how can I help the Get Your Pretty On community in this same way? And no, this isn't style related, but I had a feeling that women that were coming to the style challenge were probably going through a lot of the same stuff I was going through. And I was hearing that from them too. So that's when I decided to do the first Rediscover Me challenge. So I have to mention this right now. The videos that I did for this challenge were in 2015. So it is not a younger sister with darker hair doing the videos. It is me. I was going to reshoot all the videos over the holidays, and I started watching them and decided not to for a few reasons. Number one, I didn't think it was a good use of my time because I basically wanted to say a lot of the same stuff. There was not a lot of new content I wanted to add. So I didn't reshoot them for that reason, but also because the interesting thing about it is I was going through a lot of life change then. Our son had just gone off to college, and I was feeling some shifts and things as I was writing the challenge, and I thought it was important to leave some of that life stuff in there. So So you will see a younger version of me in the videos, and that's okay. All right, so I'm going to be doing this challenge right along with you every day. And the way this is going to work is we're going to have the daily exercise. So this morning, if you're already signed up, you got your email, you got your exercise. A lot of you probably haven't had a chance to dig into that yet, and that's okay. That's why I'm going to be doing tomorrow, or today's exercise will be addressed in tomorrow's live. So we'll have a discussion around each day's exercise, but we're going to wait until the next morning to do that for a few reasons, because I want to give all of you enough time to be able to work through the exercise, to process it, and then we'll have the discussion after that. And we have women all over the world that have signed up for this, so I want to make sure that we're being cognizant of time zone differences and all that good stuff too. So we're going to meet up here at 9:30 Central Time each morning, except on our implementation days and goals focus days. I don't think we'll have a live on those days. The first week we will, and I may have some things that I need to shift. I looked at my February calendar and was thinking, this is the perfect month because I have like nothing that's going to be a conflict this month, but that's not true. I wasn't thinking about weekends. So there may be a few conflicts, but I'll let you know of those in advance and we can just adjust our times accordingly. You don't have to join the live discussions. You'll be able to watch the replays here on my Facebook page. We're going to upload them to YouTube. If you prefer, you can go over there and subscribe. It's youtube.com/Alison Lumbatis. We're also going to share these in our private Facebook group. So if you're signed up for the challenge, you'll be able to watch them over there. But you can watch those in your spare time whenever you want to. So we will have those ready to go for you. All right. What else do I want to share housekeeping wise before we dive in? Oh, this was something that I've been wanting to do as a community for a very long time. When I first created this challenge, I wanted to do it for free, but I realized how much work and time and effort went into it. So it was a paid product a few years back. I also want to let you know that there are no upsells going on in this. I don't even have a life coaching program to upsell you into. This isn't something that, I do anymore. It's just something that I think is going to have a really big impact on all of us as a community for the next 28 days. And the biggest payment that you can give to me is to let me know if it's making a difference for you. So share here on my page, share on Instagram, share in our private Facebook group. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know the steps that you're taking. Let me know if this is making a difference for you. And that is the biggest payment you could ever possibly give me. So thank you guys for that. So anyway, I just want to explain a little bit more about what the challenge is and who it's for. It's a step-by-step guide. If you're just now hearing about it for the first time, it's okay, because other than week 1, when we do tons of goal setting, which I'm going to address more about later, you don't have to do the exercises in sequential order. So if you sign up on day 13, and we've already done days 1 through 12, that's okay. You can either jump in to day 13, or you can go back to days 1 through 12 and do those and get caught up. It's totally up to you. Another great thing about this is that you can redo it over and over again. I've personally done this challenge probably 4 or 5 times. We've had people in our community that have done it over and over again. I like to make a habit of doing it in the beginning of the year and then again in September, because September to me feels like a new year. That's when the kids go back to school, and it's just always been a really good time for me personally to hit the reset button and do it again. So do know that if you feel like you're behind or whatever, if you're losing steam, a lot of us lose steam about halfway through this challenge. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of mental work and emotional work. So it's hard to stick with it the whole way through. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. This is about progress, not perfection. You can always jump back in at any point in time. So who this challenge is for women who are ready to regain confidence and a sense of who you are. I think I've addressed before that a lot of times we're coming through transition periods of life, or, we're really not sure what the next chapter is supposed to look like for us. And I think that this challenge is a really good way to start kind of digging into figuring out what matters to you and figuring out what maybe that next chapter looks like. It's also really good if you're stuck in a rut, which I already mentioned, and you're not quite sure what steps you need to take out of it. This will give you a framework to start taking some tangible steps. And I have introduced the lessons, you know, to be a bite at a time. I don't foresee that you'll need to spend more than 20 to 25 minutes a day working through the lessons, because I wanted to keep it manageable. So if you start to feel overwhelmed, then just kind of back off from it a little bit. Any work you do toward the challenge is going to pay off in spades. So even if you spend 5 minutes a day, that's enough. All right, so this is also for women who are wanting to rediscover a sense of identity outside of your typical roles. And maybe those roles are of mom and wife. I know I've shared a lot on my coffee chats about redefining my role now that we are 3/4 empty nesters and still have one child at home, but things have shifted a lot for us recently. So I think this is going to be good for me. Again, I'm going to be doing the challenge along with you. So I'll be sharing some of my own personal goals and things like that. But maybe you're in a season where your kids just went off to school, like they started kindergarten and you're not sure what's next. I think that this is a great challenge for that time in your life too. If you're an at-home mom who feels like you're caught up in your day-to-day, taking care of your family, forgotten what matters to you. Again, I'm addressing moms a lot in this, but it's not just specific to moms. So keep that in mind. All right. And most importantly, if you're ready to dig in and do the work, this course is called a challenge because it is definitely challenging. And you're going to hit some obstacles and some roadblocks along the way, and that's okay. We'll have our private Facebook group if you need some more accountability, or if you want to partner up with somebody that's doing the challenge with you, then please definitely utilize that as a resource. All right, so week 1 kicks off today. The first week, what we're going to do is we're going to define what matters, and this is going to be goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. So you're going to be so sick of setting goals by the end of this week, and you're going to be cursing my name under your breath, but it's okay. Do not get overwhelmed. The point of this exercise, I intentionally throw a lot of goals out your way because I feel like just this act of simply goal setting will help you to, it's funny, there's a weird thing that happens when you set a goal and you write it out. Whether you realize it or not, you subconsciously file that away. And even if you never take one additional step in the direction of that goal, sometimes it miraculously happens. And I've had this happen before. I've set goals, put them away for a year, pulled them back out, looked at them, accomplished them in that year, and never did a single thing to consciously do it. So set those goals. Don't get overwhelmed by the amount of goals that you're setting, because it's okay if some fall by the wayside. I explained in the video for day 1 that I've accomplished most of the goals that I ever set out to accomplish, but some of them that I didn't accomplish were because they just didn't matter to me anymore, and they fell off my radar, or because of some life change or situation. So it's okay. Some of them will fall by the wayside. It's not a big deal. All right, so that's week 1. In week 2, we're going to work on self-care and appearance. So we're going to work on helping you set up a self-care maintenance schedule. So if that's something you've been neglecting for a while, or maybe you're a self-care maven, then that's awesome too. But we'll work on creating a schedule so that, for me, if it's not in a calendar, if it's not scheduled, it's not real. And I will be hammering that concept a lot throughout the challenge. So that's why we do things like our healthy habits tracker and our do good, feel good worksheet and our tolerations and all of these great worksheets that we do, because I want you to have it written out and I want you to have it scheduled so you can make it happen. During the self-care and appearance one, we're also going to address style, yay, and beauty and hair and all that good stuff. We're going to learn how to do affirmations. And I know that's kind of a cheesy thing, but they actually work. So we're going to be working on makeup and upgrades. We're going to discuss upgrades during that week too, which is exciting. And week 3 is all about healthy living and wellness. We're going to be approaching that from a holistic perspective of mind and body and all of that. So I love week 3, and that's usually where people start to lose steam. So I'm just going to warn you right now, if you start to want to give up during week 3, no, we all get there. So just press forward. And then week 4, we're saving the big stuff for last. It's going to be about relationships and personal growth. And I think week 4 is my absolute favorite. We work on developing a gratitude practice. We do an inventory of our relationships, which sounds super scary right now, but I promise you that it's not. We work on a personal growth plan for the year ahead. And most importantly, we have a full day scheduled to having more fun. So I'm looking forward to that. So again, we'll be doing discussions of the previous day's exercise every day here. I'll be doing this along with you. It is not too late to jump in. You can join at any time. It's getyourprettyon.com/newyou. If you want to sign up right now, you can just jump in. The only things you're going to need to get started are a journal, which we're not going to be using those till toward the end of week 1. So you're okay if you don't have that yet. You're probably going to want either a file folder or a binder to keep your printouts in. I've got my goals focus form. I'm working on that today that I'm going to put into my file folder. And you are going to want to pull out your calendar, carve out some time, and make this about you. All right. So again, challenge is about progress, not perfection. It is a self-judgment free zone. So whenever you jump into our private Facebook group, just know that we are all on our own personal journeys. Please don't compare yourself to anyone else in the challenge. Some people are going to seem like they're way ahead of you. Some people are going to be behind. It's okay. We can all learn from each other throughout the process. And no beating yourself up. So if you fall behind or you're not accomplishing your goals, it happens. Just hit the reset button every day. I've talked about this in many coffee chats. I think it's so important for us to realize that there is absolutely nothing to be gained by beating ourselves up about anything. You have, again, power in the present moment to start again right now. If I want to drink more water, I can drink more water right now. If I want to exercise more, I can exercise more right now. If I want to start refocusing on my goals, I can refocus on my goals right now. If I want to start a diet, I can mentally start it right now. You do not have to wait, and you do not have to beat yourself up. So hit the reset button. It's okay. That's important to remember. Also, some of it is going to be uncomfortable, and change always is. So is growth. And I expect to see tons and tons of growth over the next 28 days. So I can't wait to see what unfolds for everybody in this community. Again, we have thousands of women doing this. So there could be thousands and thousands of changes that are happening in your lives. And I'm super excited. Please, please share those with our community. I want to hear about them. Again, we're running a private Facebook group just for this challenge. So in order to get access to that, go ahead and sign up at getyourprettyon.com/newyou. And I will be doing a live in that group once a week on implementation days, just to clarify any questions or answer any that come up throughout the week. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. This means a lot to me, and I am super excited to get started. So let's dive in and get our goals figured out for this week. And again, if you have any questions at all at any time, feel free to tag me and ask, and I am more than happy to jump in and help you out as we go on this journey together. I will see you guys in our private Facebook group. Bye.